here at the Rockford Grange in Hood River, Oregon, wrapping up our week on the environmental justice immersion. We've gone everywhere from starting right on our river campus, Northwest and North Portland, journeyed down to Salem, our state capital, for an afternoon, explored a lot more different parts of Portland, and then have been out through the Columbia River Gorge, Hood River, Mosier, the Dalles, Celilo Village, really exploring sort of environmental justice issues everywhere up and down this little stretch of Oregon.
So we started the week out on Sunday and we took an environmental justice tour of North Portland. So we kind of focused on the different issues in our own backyard. And then on Monday, we did kind of a focus on urban resilience.
We met with APANO, which is the Asian Pacific American Network of Oregon, and they do a lot of work in their community, and something that really stuck with me from that was the concept of creative space making. It can be anything from painting the underside of bridges to making murals inside of community spaces. It just really helps welcome people into the community.
Having a healthy environment means having healthy communities. Environmental justice and social justice are very interconnected. If you are in some of the more marginalized communities on the outskirts of Portland, you are likely to lose 20 years of your life compared to people who live with better access to resources and just have less toxins and pollution in the environment.
Going to the Capitol was very cool. It was very empowering to walk in there and meet with the senator and have my voice heard.
Getting to talk to Senator Frederick was really awesome, getting to hear about his story and like how he remains hopeful and how he grew up around the civil rights era and like dealing with that, and so he is always seen as like we have to keep pushing like no matter what.
We left Portland and came out to the Columbia River Gorge and spent the day talking with CRITFIC, which is the Columbia River Intertribal Fish Commission.
It was very jarring to see the juxtaposition between the dam and then the native fishing rigs that they had established, and to see that there are still these communities that have been here for so long despite all the dams and all the different infrastructure that we've built around the river.
We went to the Longhouse at Celilo Village, and that was really cool because it's a meeting place for a lot of these tribes to come together and talk about issues that are affecting their community and impacting the people that occupy the land around the Columbia River Gorge. And so as we were learning about their culture and their family and their ancestral history and things like that, they actually shared their salmon with us, which was really impactful considering they're known as the salmon people.
There was this patch in the center of the building where it's dirt and then the outside of that is carpet. It is a reminder that from dirt we became from the earth and we're going back to the earth. So a lot of their worship happens there. When the priest in the Catholic faith does, on Ash Wednesday, does the cross on your forehead, he usually says something along the lines, "You arose from dust and to dust you'll return." And that made me connect my personal Catholic faith and the worship that the natives do.
I think my favorite part today was meeting with Arlene, who's the mayor of the city of Mosier. She talked about all of her advocacy work in terms of getting environmental justice and better development within her community following the oil train explosion. And she talked about how when you're communicating, people don't listen to yelling, but they'll listen to whispers, and within whispers, we find messages, and that's the most meaningful way to communicate with people. And I think after talking about political polarization in Salem, that was something really powerful to hear and something to take away when we're talking about this story to people back at UP, is thinking how can we whisper instead of yell.
One of my favorite things that we did was going on a hike. It was really nice after especially sitting in lots of meetings to get outside. I feel like everyone just bonded with looking at beautiful views.
We all really get to bond and get closer, especially on this immersion. We've been driving all over, and so that time in the cars is spent talking and sometimes sleeping, because we are tired.
Sleeping on the floor is good for the soul.
I love how immersions bring a lot of people from different majors together.
Those intersecting of ideas and beliefs and backgrounds led to really interesting discussions in our reflection settings.
You're forced to look into different lenses and understand that issues are way more complex than that they may seem.
When you're coming into these places and you're standing where the stories have happened and you see this is a real place, I think the story becomes real also.
There is so much strength in human resilience and human faith, and we definitely saw that in all of the different groups we met with this week.